Thank you, Miss Howard. Ah, hello, Drake.
What's the panic?
Geneva trouble.
Yes, I heard your controller there had gone missing.
Yes, that was a month ago. Jordan replaced him, and now Jordan's gone missing.
Like Aldington.
Yes, like Allington. He's disappeared into thin air.
Well, it has to be a double agent, doesn't it?
Yes, I think one of our 3 Geneva contacts must have gone over to the other side.
You need help, and I don't need 3 guesses as to who the next controller in Geneva's going to be.
Yes, I've booked you in at the Bar au Lac on the Quai des Bergues. You leave on flight 732. Take off at 1:45.
Now, Aldington didn't know that one of his contacts was rotten. Jordan, on the other hand, was expecting trouble and...
Exactly, and they still got him. Will you run the film, please? I'll show you some of the contacts you'll be meeting. First, we have Joseph Laclos. He works as a waiter in the Voile au Vent in the Rue de Lausanne. He takes in all the travelers' reports from East Germany, microfilms them, and will hand them over to you at a numbered rendezvous.
Do I pay in dollars?
Yes.
Identification procedure?
I'll give you all the details later.
He looks innocuous enough.
Yes, he's been with us 2 years. He's very reliable, so far. Now we have Wolf Kronenberger. The appearance is deceptive. He runs a rather chic men's shop on the Quai de Mont Blanc. He has unique Balkan contacts and keeps them to himself. But all his information's been 100% accurate.
Looks like a butterfly with a sting to me.
Yes, he's always short of money. But he's had an absolutely clear record for an impressive length of time.
How impressive.
5 years.
How do I contact him?
Oh, same pattern. Microfilms, payment, numbered rendezvous. And this is Leslie Arden.
Certainly the most attractive prospect so far.
Half English, half French. She's the little friend of Vladimir Sainikov.
Yes, their ambassador.
That's right.
And he says indiscreet things to her.
Correct. And the things that are of interest to us, she'll pass on to you.
This is a disillusioning business. What's procedure with the lady?
You put an advertisement in the personal column of the Tribune de Genève.
I suppose it would be indiscreet to call at her apartment?
Oh, very. In fact, you'll only do that in an extreme emergency. Well, Drake, one of those 3 will be out to dispose of you. Any hunches?
None, I'm afraid. What message do I put in the paper?
Everything you need to know is in here.
Thanks, Colonel. I'll be saying goodbye.
Well, I take it you're going to contact Miss Arden first.
Of course, with the gentlemen, the ladies automatically come first.
Well, watch out for those 3.
Don't worry. I will. Yes, I want to put the same message in the personal column. That's right, for tomorrow's issue. Cherie, gambling on seeing you, usual place, 3:30. That's right. Thank you.
Qu'est-ce que vous pensez?
Vous voyez pas vous-même, monsieur. Je trouve qu'il vous va parfaitement.
C'est bien.
Un veston de ce genre doit être bien ajusté.
Oh, vous pouvez servir ça, monsieur, pendant
Merci,
que
monsieur.
j'essaie le...
Que désirez-vous, monsieur?
According to the information on the door, you speak English?
That is so, sir. What can I do for you?
A friend of mine tells me that you've got the best selection of bow ties in Europe.
Oh, that's very flattering, sir. May I inquire the customer's name?
Littleton, Francis Littleton.
Ah, yes. I know the captain very well. Certainly is one of our best clients. May I? Yes. Yes, I think we can do something for you, sir.
May I see a selection?
morning. You're punctual. But I've been here for 15 minutes. Come here often before I open up my place. Sit down. There's nobody about. There never is at this time of day. It's a perfect meeting place.
Can you really trust the pigeons?
Oh, you have that curious sense of humor. Aldington had it. I dealt with him for a year. And Jordan? Where is he now? What is happening?
Are you always so curious, Cronenberg?
Oh, yes, it's a fault, I know. Oh, please, call me Wolf. Cronenberger makes me sound like a chess player. Aldington, Jordan, can you tell me, are they well?
How do you think they are, Wolf?
Me? I don't know. I imagine they're in good health. You mean you don't know how they are?
I've no idea. You see, I've never met them.
Obviously, the system changes. But you do have the money, though.
You do have the goods.
By Saturday, I shall have them.
By Saturday, you have the money.
Saturday is in 4 days.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday... Saturday, yes, that's quite right.
You have not introduced yourself, by the way.
Sorry, Elliot. John Elliot. How do you do?
How do you do, John? You don't mind if...
I don't mind if you call me John, Wolf.
If I could explain to you about the money.
What is there to explain?
Well, I need it now. Tomorrow at the latest.
I'm afraid that first name terms aren't going to help us there. You see, I have my orders.
Yes, but orders can be stretched a little.
Not when they're inelastic.
Well, I've never failed to deliver.
And under my control, that record is going to hold.
Aldington used to oblige me.
Yes, Aldington knew you better than I do.
He understood my weaknesses. And I never let him down.
No?
No. Never.
In your position, you shouldn't have weaknesses.
Well, we're all human, aren't we?
Oh, I wouldn't like to boast about it.
Couldn't you...
Just how human are you, Wolf?
You mean my weakness?
Yes.
Birds.
Are crumbs so expensive in Geneva, then?
Very expensive.
You get me the film before Saturday, and I will give you the money.
It's not possible.
Saturday, then.
Where?
Do we meet, and at what time?
Couldn't I persuade you to...
To be human, no.
2 o'clock Saturday. Villa Amphitryon on the route de Florissant. Here, let yourself in with this.
The Villa Amphitryon is not on the list.
No, it's a little discovery of my own. Oh, it's quite safe. Here. Don't you trust me?
Yes, of course, I trust you, Wolf.
Well, I must go now. It's time I opened up. Perhaps you would like to finish feeding the birds.
Thank you. Yes, I have a little time. I don't think we shall need this. A friend of mine tells me there's only one dish to have at the Vol-au-Vent in summer, and that is friture de perchette with a bottle of green sylvander.
Oh, certainly, monsieur. It is our speciality.
Perhaps you've served this friend of mine. He also has a weakness for fladen and crafen.
Would he be a rather plump gentleman with a beard who always carries a camera?
Yes, he would.
A most appreciative customer, monsieur. Most appreciative. I hope everything was to your liking, monsieur.
Yes, everything was excellent. Quite excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, monsieur.
gotten up reading?
You're not supposed to come here.
I got tired of waiting at the Alpha Bar, and the charm of that oversized fountain is strictly limited. Where have you been?
You'd better come in.
Exotic bird, exotic setting.
I don't like sarcasm before 12.
I don't like being left dangling.
I have an explanation if you'd care to hear it.
How improbable is it?
Vladimir had to go to Zurich. I had to go with him. It is my job, you know.
Yes, I do know.
I didn't want to go. Zurich isn't exactly gay.
Kirche, Kinder und Kuchen.
I see you know the place.
It's in my guidebook.
Am I forgiven?
Don't men usually forgive you?
Yes, nauseating, isn't it?
Beautiful, honest, and a sense of humor. You must be irresistible. Can we talk now? Are you expecting a visitor?
Vladimir only turns up in the evenings. Sit down, have a drink.
Tell me, do you like Vladimir?
It's not in your brief to ask me that kind of question, is it?
Have you any ice?
As a matter of fact, I fell in love with him. Gin and tonic?
Fine. And then?
I fell out, and don't probe me any further.
I'm sorry, I hardly ever ask questions.
It's all right. Like me, you're very forgivable. What's in your funny bag?
My emergency kit.
Dr. Kildare, I presume.
Dr. Elliot, if Vladimir should happen to return, you'll have just come down with a blinding migraine.
I really am a sufferer, you know.
Oh, yes, I do know. It's in your records.
Ingenious, aren't you?
Aren't you going to join me?
Yes, I think I am. What happened to Jourdain?
Another assignment.
Are you going to be more permanent?
I have no idea. I just do as I'm told.
Do you?
Does Vladimir know that you suffer from migraine?
Yes, I've had quite a few recently.
You must be getting tired of him.
He had charming ways. A sort of irresistible, graceful clumsiness. Little tufts of hair on his cheekbones, like a British naval officer.
Skull.
I used to pull them and he'd pretend to be angry with me.
Past tense.
There's something about you that makes me start to confess.
Maybe I missed my vocation.
There's something else I'd like to confess. Right now, I'd like to disappear.
Disappear.
Find a new city?
Which city?
I don't know. I just spin the globe, close my eyes, stop it with my finger, and wherever my finger rests, that's the place I'll go.
You better be careful. 4/5 of it is water.
Dr. Elliot, you have the most important quality a man should have.
And that is?
A sense of the ridiculous.
The Colonel would not be impressed if he could hear you now.
I'll see it through. I mean, I'm a big girl now, aren't I? I know I can't walk out on this kind of job. Zurich yielded some surprisingly good tidbits. It's all in here.
Have you used the new code?
Yes, Sons and Lovers.
Vladimir. Lie down. Close your eyes. Migraine. Leave the rest to me. A messenger left them.
You know, I'm a very silly person. Very silly.
Are you seeking a compliment?
No, I mean it. I really am very stupid.
Why?
Can't you guess?
No.
I find too many men attractive.
And that is stupid.
Yes, because then I get to know them.
And rarely, if ever, do you forgive them.
Forgive, but never forget.
Are they from...
Yes, they are.
Yes, I read the message, I'm afraid, but I don't understand the language.
The message is untranslatable. Why don't we finish our drinks?
Shouldn't these be put in water?
Are you always kind to flowers?
Always.
Why don't I meet you at the Alpha Bar on Saturday morning?
You mean I don't have to advertise in the newspaper?
How about animals?
I'll have the dollars with me.
There's no hurry about the money.
Isn't there? That's unusual.
You didn't answer my question.
The answer is yes.
And people?
People? I'm hardly ever kind to people. Skull.
Scott.
I placed you as a man who would stay at an Hotel de Luxe. I was right, wasn't I?
You may be right once too often, Wolf.
Cigarette? We are not too unlike, I think, you and I, John.
So, gold?
This is gold, too. There are some people who think that gold's vulgar.
But you're not one of them.
No, I'm not. Are you?
You didn't come here to discuss degrees of taste, did you?
May I help myself to a drink?
Carry on.
Thank you.
Come to the point, Wolf.
The point? Yes, well, the point is usually so unpleasant that I prefer to delay coming to it as long as possible. I have a passion for other things besides gold, you know. I have a passion for cleanliness. Clean sheets, for example. Every night I sleep between clean sheets. You may not believe it, but my parents were pigs. They wallowed in filth. Because they were very, very poor.
Oh, that explains your passion for gold.
Yes. And why I shower 3 times a day.
Your personal habits don't interest me in the slightest, Wolf.
I was born in Bulgaria, you know. My father was Armenian, my mother was a mélange of nationalities. So you see, I'm really a mongrel.
The point, Wolf, the point.
When I reached into my inside pocket just now, were you expecting me to produce this?
I wouldn't have been in the least surprised. Is that gold, too?
No. Golden guns are only for fiction, aren't they?
Is it loaded?
Of course. Have you ever used one of these?
The Japanese get cleverer all the time, don't they?
Beautifully made, isn't it?
Yes, beautifully, beautifully.
John,
Yes, Wolf.
tomorrow is Friday.
And the following day, we have a meeting at the Villa Amphitryon.
You have $1,000 for me. Give me 500 now.
You're very persistent, Wolf. Very, very persistent.
What is it, John? Don't you trust me?
I, wouldn't say that. $500.
The last time we met, nothing would persuade you to do this.
I've changed my mind. You've got to be flexible. Flexible to stay alive.
Yes. Yes, it's a good thing, I think, to be flexible.
Wolf Kronenberger has just called unexpectedly at my room. He wanted money. I gave him $500. Seemed better than having him follow me about until the delivery date at the Villa Amphitryon on Saturday afternoon. This meeting may well prove whether Wolf is our man or not. In the meantime, I have a rendezvous with Joseph Laclos at the Natural History Museum. An unlikely place for an ambush, but one never knows.
Excusez-moi, mais ne trouvez-vous pas que l'albatros est un oiseau fascinant? Ich sagte, entschuldigen Sie, aber finden Sie nicht den Albatros einen faszinierenden Vogel?
Yes.
Ah, you are English, of course. I was asking, do you not find the albatross truly fascinating?
Yes, it's a legendary bird, is it not?
Ah, to see one flying, to be on board ship and observe the flight pattern. Tell me, monsieur, are you aware that in relation to the ship, the albatross makes a rhythmic geometrical pattern? Here is the ship, and here the albatross. As the ship sails, the albatross follows in this manner. Here she is flying low, then away again. At this distance, she is flying parallel. Then return, then away again, making a perfect geometrical pattern.
Fascinating.
And are you aware, monsieur, that the length of this bird's wings exceeds that of all others? That accounts for its extraordinary powers of flight. It is also due to the large number of secondary feathers attached to the ulna above the wrist of the wing.
Most interesting
And
information.
are you also aware, monsieur, that this extraordinary bird lands only to nest?
Really?
Yes, the albatross goes to sleep, floating on the waves. Incidentally, it drinks seawater.
Most instructive. Thank you very much.
Oh, but monsieur, there are so many others. Oh, excusez moi, je regrette de vous déranger. Ici, l'albatross comes.
You're a quarter of an hour late.
Yes, I am. I'm lucky to be here at all.
What went wrong?
Somebody has just tried to kill me.
Kill you?
I was driving here in my car, going along the Rue de Montbriand. It happened by the traffic lights at the intersection with the Rue de Montou. The lights were against us, and stopped in front of me was a white Volkswagen. I was staring ahead the way one does, when I noticed there was no glass in the rear window. Suddenly, I had an intuition. I ducked my head quickly, and a bullet shattered my windscreen.
You're lucky to have that kind of intuition.
I tell you, I'm still feeling shaky inside.
Did you, notice anyone?
No. By the time I lifted my head, they must have turned off into the Rue de Montou.
Didn't they attract any attention?
No. There was no noise. The pistol had a silencer. Listen, this means one thing, doesn't it?
Yes.
I'm blown.
Yes, they, seem to have got your number, all right. Well, we'll just have to pull you out of the network.
I promise you I'm not going to hang around. I have the package. I'll get it ready for delivery.
Tonight?
Tonight.
I'll have the money.
Tomorrow I make for Rome. You can contact me through the agency.
About tonight, where do you want us to complete?
Yes, let's make it safe. The ruined house on the Route de Ferney. You know it?
No, but it's in the book. What time?
At midnight.
Hello? Oh. now know the method of disposal, but I am not yet sure which of them is behind it. Animal, vegetable, or mineral?
Very much man.
Did you think I wasn't going to turn up?
I was beginning to wonder. You are 15 minutes late.
Yes, I have an explanation. Would you care to hear it?
How improbable is it?
Plain girls always turn up for an appointment on time. Attractive girls 10 minutes later. Beauties 20 minutes, but goddesses only turn up after half an hour. So you see, I'm really 15 minutes early.
I wasn't wrong about you. You're very forgivable.
Monsieur?
Café noir, une grande tasse, s'il vous plaît.
So, that's the real reason you're late. A large cup of black coffee can only mean one thing. A hangover. Confess.
Goddesses should be above cynicism.
All right, what were you up to last night?
I can promise you I wasn't drinking.
You're reluctant to tell me, though, aren't
Oh,
you?
not at all. No, I went for a little drive.
To enjoy country pleasures?
I'm very bucolic. I motored to Coppet via the Route de Ferney.
To see the old chateau.
No, I didn't, Leslie.
It's the first time.
First time?
You called me Leslie.
Oh,
Let me do that. How many lamps?
2, please. The service here is excellent. I must come more often.
Good.
The occasion is so pleasant, I almost forgot the reason for our meeting. I think you'll find that adds up to the right amount.
Do you have to put a pin in the balloon?
Do you really object to pleasure with business?
Perhaps I'm oversensitive. I want you to do something for me. When you make out your report to the Colonel, would you please ask him to transfer me?
A new assignment?
As quickly as possible.
I'll make it urgent.
Were you thinking of driving to the country again this evening?
No, I hadn't any plans at all for this evening. Why?
Vladimir flies to Lausanne this afternoon.
Alone?
Alone.
That's interesting. When's he come back?
Tomorrow.
Yes. Cognac. I have an appointment this afternoon. Have you any plans for this evening?
I'd like to make a suggestion if you'd care to hear it.
Oh, yes, I do care, Leslie. I do care.
I would like very much to cook a meal for you.
Suggestion approved, as long as you allow me to choose the wine.
Of course. First we have gazpacho.
Amontillado.
And then we have Chateaubriand with béarnaise sauce.
Chambertin.
I don't care what we have for pudding as long as we drink Chateau de Kiem.
With that, for pudding, bombe surprise. John? John? Robert. What's the matter, Wolf? Are you, nervous?
In our line of business, one should always take precautions.
Yes, but you can pick it up now, can't you?
Yes. Yes, of course. What's the matter, John? Where were you hiding?
I wasn't. I was upstairs just looking the place over.
And what did you expect to find?
Oh, nothing.
Here we have a place where you can really breathe. Although the villa has been occupied for 6 months.
What's going on? What are you up to?
Nothing. I don't know more than you.
You see, it is very solidly built. Yeah, this is the place with 3 bathrooms.
Let's complete and get out of here.
My contact has been delayed.
You haven't got the film.
No, but don't worry. He told me he'll be in this evening. You'll have it later.
Are you sure?
I'm certain.
You realize you're not going to get the money now.
Later. Later we'll be all right.
Very solid. The staircase, for example, is made of oak. The handrail is of mahogany. Good craftsmanship. Shall we complete the downstairs inspection? And here we have the living room. 12 meters by 6. High ceiling.
Let's meet this evening. Say, midnight.
It's not really terribly convenient this evening, but where at midnight?
Oh, let's make it somewhere where nothing can go wrong. Do you know the ruined house on the route to Ferney?
Yes. Yes, I do know it, but...
The previous occupier used this room as a study. Someone has left the window open.
I'm now on my way to have dinner with Leslie Arden in her apartment. Later, I'm meeting Wolf at the ruined house on the route de Ferney. Whatever happens, we'll get our answer tonight.
You should be crowned with vine leaves.
I'm incognito this evening. I like garlic.
Even on fingers. I'm in the middle of gazpacho.
Oh, can I help you?
Yes. Gin and tonic.
Thank you, but I think I'll start with sherry, and the Chateau Kiem should be put in the refrigerator right away.
But the kitchen's in here. I'll go and fix myself a drink and then I'll join you.
Did Vladimir get away all right?
I imagine so, yes.
I hope so. It would be very embarrassing if he turned up unexpectedly. You see, I haven't got my doctor's kit with me this evening. Oh, have you got a corkscrew?
Bring one in. You were very much on time this evening.
After this morning, I daren't be late.
Oh, you dare anything.
That's not true. Ah, there you are.
What a charming scene.
I'm not really domesticated.
Let me finish stirring that. You open the wine.
All right.
What wouldn't you dare?
Now, you don't expect me to tell you all my little weaknesses, do you?
Honestly, I don't believe you have any.
What if I were to tell you that I was scared of going into empty old houses at night?
I wouldn't believe you.
Well, there's nothing more to be said, is there?
You're like one of those actors in a Japanese play, aren't you? You always wear a mask. A little more seasoning, do you think?
Just a touch pepper.
Yes, I think right. Have you ever been near to marriage?
How do you know I'm not married?
I can tell.
No, not very near. Have you?
Near, very near, but finally no. Do you regret not having?
Well, it's not too late for me, is it?
I think it is. In fact, I know it is.
And you?
For me, too. Oh, you haven't got a glass.
The music stopped.
Yes. Why don't you go and put on another record and then find yourself a glass in the cabinet. Make yourself comfortable.
And you?
Well, I just have to finish chopping these up and then I'll join you.
The music, have you any special preference?
Surprise me. How did you know that was the music I wanted?
Intuition.
Ne bacine amor, mio amore sta lontano.
Have you found a glass?
Don't worry, I can manage myself.
Piove nel mio cuore, mio amore sta lontano.
I'll be with you in exactly 1 minute.
All right.
Is there plenty of ice?
Yes, I'll check.
Because if not, there's plenty in the refrigerator and I'll bring it in.
All right, there's lots of ice here.
Dove son sogni d'or, mio amore sta lontano.
If there's one thing that I can't stand, it's an inadequacy of ice. Have you ever had that South American drink, brandy float? Crushed ice in a champagne glass with the brandy floated on Benedictine and the whole sucked through a straw.
Sounds cool. How's the sherry?
Very nutty. You should have it chilled a little, though.
It's a pity, isn't it?
A pity.
Yes, he should have his Columbine.
Ah, yes. Yes, he's very handsome, isn't he?
Why don't you light the candles? How hungry are you?
Not desperately.
Then why don't we dance?
You spoil me. Everything has been perfect. Everything. The wines, the sauces, the meats, the sweets, brandy. Particularly you, Leslie. It's so marvelous to be able to relax. So rarely that one can relax completely. You couldn't find it in your heart, could you, Leslie, to fire that thing at me?
Keep your eyes closed.
I must reject the blindfold. I have to know what is happening.
Stop talking.
I knew there was a 50-50 chance it might be you, but emotionally I rejected it. You see, I was certain that...
That what?
It doesn't matter. What happens after the dart knocks me out? How do you ship me behind the curtain? Do you know if Jordan and Aldington have done any talking yet? Do you know how hard they've been persuaded? Do you, Leslie?
No, I don't know.
Somewhere along the line, you've got to find one man and stick to him.
They won't kill you.
Do I get a written guarantee?
Please, don't be funny.
How can someone like you change sides, play the turncoat?
I have not changed sides. I've been working for them right from the start.
So, Vladimir isn't in Lausanne, is he?
No, he'll be here any minute.
And there's nothing more to say. Pull the trigger.
I've been trying to all this time, but my finger is paralyzed. I can't shoot you. I can't.
Let me help you. It wouldn't have mattered if you had pulled the trigger. I'm glad you didn't. I unloaded it while you were in the kitchen. You're in a spot, Leslie. Now tell me exactly what happens when Vladimir arrives.
Все в порядке?
Абсолютно.
Нет, вы не могли, Эстилет!
Сундук упакован.
А товарищ Синико?
Позже.
Don't worry, he's only going home.